what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Honda Garage Projects. So today we actually have a lot of stuff in plan that's coming out. So we got to pull this out, fix a few things. So I don't know if you can see the whole turbo moves. I have, let's see if we can get that in there. I have a bracket that mounts to the transmission that actually the bolt broke off into the transmission. So I got to pull that out, tap that, and then get it to where, you know, we can bolt it back to the transmission so it don't sit there and wobble, so it don't break the welds on the manifold. And then also, it's really hard to see, but this bolt that's inside the side motor mount is actually stripped out. So we're going to be pulling this thing out, and we're actually going to start off by taking the exhaust off, turbo off, unhooking everything, getting the intercooler piping off and all this stuff out of the way, so we can actually start getting the radiator out of there and kind of cleaning things up, moving the fuel lines off and getting it to where it's you know, ready to just pull out. But yeah, we're just gonna start unhooking everything and getting it ready to slide her on out, and then we'll get the car on jack stands, get the axles out of it, so it you know, comes out with these. Yeah, it's the V6 J32. It's manual 6-speed transmission. It's LSD. Has the Borg S366 turbo on it with 1000cc injectors. I went to Streetcar Takeover with it a few months back in Colorado. It did pretty good, but I found a lot of issues. I learned that this fuel filter I have right here, the Red Horse, it clogs up really fast. And I mean, I'm not sure if it's like the dirty fuel that's around here and whatnot, but it gave me a lot of issues out there, and it was too late after I found out what the actual issue was. So we'll get everything taken out, getting it ready to go, and I got a race coming up here soon in New Mexico, so we're going to be getting it ready for that. But if you guys just stick around, and we'll get to it. We're back. I think we can pull the turbo off now. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Might be a little difficult because this sucker is huge. There we go. So there you have it. There's turbo out, and then that bracket that I was talking about, so you can actually see it right down there. Bracket welded there that actually bolts to my transmission right between my shifter cables there, and it is broken, so you can see how bad that sucker actually wiggles. So that's no bueno. So we're going to go ahead and start pulling off everything else, the wastegates, get to the manifold, pull the manifold off, and we'll be pretty close to start buttoning everything up, getting the little things off here and there, and getting the motor out of it. So hopefully by tonight we can have this motor out. We'll see. Well, yeah, guys, I appreciate you sticking with me, and we'll keep it going.
it bang, bang.
Alright, you guys, so I was pretty much able to get everything out that I needed to before before I have to pull the axles and get the fuel lines off. You can see manifold's gone. I still got the headers on there, but I don't need to pull those out to pull the motor out. But there you can see right there, it's been rubbing. There is a bolt inside of there and it's broken, so I need to get that out to be able to mount that manifold. And then I need to fix my motor mount. So I got the innovative motor mounts. They didn't work out so well. They didn't fit at all, so I had to kind of, I guess, rig them to get them to fit. And they're in there now. It was in there as good as I could get it, honestly, but it's not good, because you could see where I had to grind away half of the freaking motor mount. It's pretty much falling apart. So I don't know if you can see that down there. So that doesn't look very good. And then the one up here, I got a big old washer on it. That doesn't look very good. So there's a lot of not very goods on here. So we'll definitely have to fix that once we get the motor out. But that'll be another thing. So definitely got to fix that. But yeah, we're about to get ready to pull this sucker out. Hopefully here in the next hour or so we'll get it out. I'm sorry about the lighting, guys, but as you can see, it's pretty dark out here right now. So I got my lights set up, so we should be good. We'll get to pulling the axles out now and keep going. We got these two axles to pull out, and I think that's about it. Well, I'll put you back on the time lapse. We'll get to it and get her done. Well, I'd say we're pretty much ready to pull this sucker out. I got the axles out. They came out really easy, actually, and didn't give me any troubles at all. So you can see both axles are out there. So yeah, they didn't give me no trouble. So all I got to do is I can either unbolt this one from here, which usually is easier, or I can unbolt it from there. This one obviously from there, because it's bolted pretty crazy there, so I can't take it off that way. And then that back mount, so should be able to get it here in a few minutes. have it, a successful pulled motor. So again, that's where that issue was, where the manifold bolts up to that. Now let me show you the issue with this mount. So as you can see, it's got a really big gap there. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that gap right in front of that bolt. Now watch this. That whole thing wiggles. And when I'm doing burnouts, when I'm doing pulls, my whole motor moves like crazy. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. And then that back motor mount, the one that I said had the grind and everything, this one, as you can see, is disgusting. It is bent to shit. It's ugly. It's not safe. These right here were the original holes, and I had to drill new holes. As you can see there and there. This one I had to grind half of it away to even make it fit at all. So it bent it because there's no structure. And I couldn't even use that one. It was nowhere close. Anyways, I got the motor pulled. We're gonna get to it probably tomorrow, get everything fixed up. Now, stupid me, I freaking got in a rush with everything and forgot to unhook the fuel lines like I said I was gonna do. And yeah, so when you're doing this kind of stuff, just make sure you take your time so you don't freaking screw shit up like that. But so I'm gonna end it off here for this episode, just pulling the motor, seeing how it's done with the V6s and these EGs. And for the next episode is going to be fixing that motor mount, figuring out what we need to do, and then also drilling and tapping that bolt right there. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna end it off there and see you next episode.